Why you keep being attracted to people who treat you badly? Why you keep being attracted to toxic relationships? My name is Star Taylor and I taught thousands of people how to change from being attracted to toxic people to being attracted to healthy relationships. Today I will teach you why you continuously choose toxic partners, why it is an unnatural pattern that you learned in your past, and how to let go of that pattern to be attracted to healthy relationships. I'm going to show you that by practicing a technique that shows yourself that you're worthy of genuine love. In addition, I will teach you tips on how to recognize a healthy partner. So when you go out on dates, you see the signs of why is someone healthy and why is someone toxic. All right, let's go. First question, why are you continuously choosing partners that treat you badly? The answer for that is emotional addiction. You actually are getting pulled in by an emotional toxic cocktail through patterns that you learned from your past. Let me explain. You never learned how to love yourself. You never learned how to trust yourself, and you never learned your own self-worth. That's why you're looking for those attributes in other people. You're basically dating people who show you that they're better than you. They show you with their behavior that they're better than you, and by you then chasing their validation, you're getting a toxic high. This is going to be an emotional addiction that you are mistaken with love. This will be amplified by hot and cold games, them ignoring you, them showing you the cold shoulder, you guys having fights, you may be jealous, and it's a constant ping back, forward and back of an emotional addiction. And that emotional roller coaster goes higher and higher. You invest more and more, and then you mistaken emotional addiction with love. And by you actually chasing that person and chasing that emotional addiction that you're mistaken with love, you showing your brain that you don't value yourself, which is amplifying this whole pattern of you, even after a breakup with a toxic person, chasing another toxic relationship. So your continuous chasing of these toxic people in the relationship that don't treat you well is showing your brain that you are invested. It's showing your brain that you value this kind of behavior, and your brain will support you more with more urges, with more feelings of attractions towards those people. And then you say, oh yeah, I'm just attracted to bad boys because they're high value men. No, you're just attracted to emotional addiction, a pattern that you learned from the past. So the underlying foundation is actually you need to learn to value yourself. You need to learn to love yourself. And this process will make you be not attracted anymore to people who treat you badly. It will actually make you attracted to people who treat you well. And your next question should be, okay, so how am I going to do this? Yes, I'm going to explain it in this video. For the people who are new, I changed my brain with behavioral therapy. Why is that important for this video? Because I'm going to teach you how to change your brain with behavioral therapy. Because if you're new here, let me tell you this, the brain's language is behavior. It's the behavior that you're doing inside of your head, and it is the behavior that you're doing outside of your head. Your brain is watching you all the time and is deciding what kind of thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations it's going to give you by your behavior inside of your head and outside of your head. So we also are going to change your feeling of self-worth, you valuing yourself, you loving yourself with the change of your behavior inside and outside of your head. Principle number one to be attracted to healthy relationship is you need to train yourself to be attracted to people who treat you well. How do we do that? We're doing that in two ways, and the first one is the most important one. You have to treat yourself well with your behaviors inside and outside of your head. What do I mean with that? You have to show yourself that you value yourself by not being reactive to the emotional addictive engine that you used to be reactive to, which is being reactive to the jealousy, the toxicity, and then doing behaviors around that. You need to act on the different engine, which are the values, and what supports the values, the valued actions. Do you see how logical this is? We are literally changing the neural pathways in your brain through behavioral therapy, through changing your behavior inside and outside of your head. And with that, we're changing you from being on the emotional addictive engine to the valued action engine. And through that valued action engine, you learn to value yourself. It's not even a learn, you're experiencing to value yourself. From that engine, you automatically are not attracted anymore to people who treat you badly. You are attracted to people who treat you well. And in addition, we're gonna give that another boost, because number 2, which is coming up, is going to be, how are you going to behave towards people who treat you badly and towards people who treat you well. But first, we want to amplify the most important technique here, which is number 1, the practice of valuing yourself to create self-worth. Many people online talk about self-worth, they give you theory, but no one ever gives you the actions, the way how to create self-worth. I'm gonna give you that today. No one ever gives you the practical steps to create self-worth, and the shocking reason for that is that they don't know. And the reason why they don't know is because they never practically did it themselves. They never changed their brain. Most therapists and psychologists only regurgitate information that they learned in universities. They never actually changed their own mental health practically. How do I know? Because I, unlike most therapists and psychologists, changed my brain practically. I used to let my patterns, my trauma patterns, my emotional addictions, my thoughts dictate my life. And I had such a strong desire to change my life for the better. I looked ambitiously for 11 years for the tools to change my brain, to have a successful life. Because I want to be in charge and I want to do the things I want to do in life and not let my life be dictated by patterns that aren't even my own. I got them from hurtful experiences, from my childhood, from being bullied in school every day for 7 years. But then I learned these behavioral tools and applied them, and it changed my life. With these behavioral tools, I changed from being stuck to being free and doing the things I want to do in life. I'm now a successful social media creator. I do the things that I love. And I also changed in relationships. I changed from chasing validation and happiness in other people to valuing myself and loving myself, to being my own best friend, to having my back. And it's not only me. Over the last 5 years, I helped thousands of my clients to change their lives. Here's an example of my client, Marissa. Fast forward, through the practice, through everything, from the problems that we talked about, how did your life change now? After a year and a half?
Everything's different. I'm healthier than I've ever been physically, mentally, emotionally. I have wonderful relationships in my life. I feel happy. STAR has genuinely changed every aspect of my life. And maybe I shouldn't say STAR, but these teachings are life-changing.
And here's my client, Jennifer.
And I know we've only been working for a month, but I can honestly see I've made a huge progress from our first
Here's my client, Janice.
It's been 6 months and it's just been literally life-changing. When I met you, I was completely falling apart for real. I was in a toxic relationship. I worked my way out of that relationship, and now I'm in such a much better place. I've stopped drinking now also, which has really improved my life. I'm doing mindfulness and meditation. Thank you so much.
And to get all of these changes, you don't have to look for 11 years for the solution like I did. If you want to stop being stuck and finally fulfill your potential, I created a full support system guided by me for you to change your brain and with that, change your life. I created STARS Coaching Academy on the Amazing School platform, where you get 4 group sessions a month with me, guided by me, and 1 private session with me a month, plus access to an amazing like-minded community who focuses on growing their valued actions. If you finally want to change your life in 2024 with tools that actually work and not some nonsense that just sounds good, click the Stars Coaching Academy link in the description below. After you signed up, you and me will have an onboarding call that is included to talk about your challenges and your goals so I can help you even better, because I actually care you having results. In a year, you look back at your life being different and you're gonna be like, damn, I'm so glad I invested in myself and I clicked that link. To practically create self-worth, we're gonna use an amazing tool and look holistically at your life. And we have to look at the value garden exercise that was created by Mark Freeman. Mark Freeman created the value garden exercise where we grow our values. And I added 7 categories to the exercise to make it easier for you to find your values. The following 7 values are found universally applicable to all human beings. So I would suggest getting a piece of paper and writing them down. And after I explained how to do the value garden exercise, you pause the video and you do it. Because that's also showing yourself with your behavior that you're caring about your life, which is already the first action step to show yourself that you're worthy and not just binge watch video after video after video, which is only a self-help addiction, and you make yourself feel better and tell yourself, I'm so spiritual, I'm so conscious, I'm so amazing, I'm so self-developed, because you're taking in information. Taking in information is not knowledge. You are not smart for just taking in information. You are smart for changing your behavior with the information that supports you. Here we go, value garden exercise. We got a piece of paper, right? And on the piece of paper, you're gonna write 7 values. These are the 7 sections of the garden that we're going to grow. So imagine growing a garden of oranges, bananas, strawberries, salad, or whatever it is you want to grow, but we don't grow fruits and vegetables, we are growing values. So the 7 values are: number 1, physical fitness; number 2, creative expression; number 3, business/money; number 4, romantic relationships; number 5, family and friends relationships; number 6, fun; and number 7, relaxation. You're gonna spread these values on the piece of paper, and then you're gonna ask yourself, number 1, what actions am I already doing to grow those parts of the garden? And number 2, what actions do I want to do to grow those parts, different sections of the garden, but my brain says, oh, I'm not ready yet, I'm not good enough, other people might judge me, I have anxiety, I have jealousy, oh no, then I'm losing my partner. And write those actions down as well. So you wanna write down actions that you're already doing that support the parts of the garden, and you're gonna write down actions that you want to do, but the brain has a bunch of excuses, okay? I'll give you some examples to make this easy. Physical fitness, pretty easy, right? Going to the gym, hot yoga, golfing, swimming, and maybe you're already going to the gym, but you want to go to a boxing class, but the brain says, no, there's uncertainty. Write the boxing class down as well. Let's say creative expression. Maybe you're a painter, dancer. Maybe you want to make TikToks. Maybe you want to make a podcast. Maybe you're already dancing, but the brain says, no, we cannot make a podcast because they're going to judge us. Write the podcast down anyway. A lot of people have questions about family and friends and romantic relationships. Let's start with romantic relationships. If you have a partner or not, it doesn't matter. You just want to write down what you want to spend your time on with your partner. That could be you want to go to the gym together, you want to go to restaurants together, you want to go to the movies together, you want to read books together. Intimacy is also a part. How much intimacy do you want to have with your partner? Physical intimacy I'm talking about. We just want to talk about what do you want to spend your time on in actions with your partner. Family and friends relationships. What do you want to spend your time on with your family and friends? Maybe you want to play volleyball together. Maybe you want to have charade night. Maybe you want to play chess. Maybe you want to go to the movies together. Maybe you want to go travel together. Whatever it is, write it down. Some of these value sections will overlap. I'll give you an example. Maybe you love playing volleyball or soccer with your friends and family. At the same time, you have that written in your family and friends because it supports the family and friends relationships. You have it written in your physical fitness because it supports physical fitness. And you have to written in the fun part because it supports the fun. So fun could be Disneyland, could be whatever it is that you love to do that's fun for you. Painting, drawing, playing music, etc. Business/money. Whatever you support yourself already to make money or build a business. And if you maybe want to do a podcast, if you want to support your current business with a podcast, or if you want to create a whole new business to do a podcast, social media. Yes, in the beginning, you might not gonna make money, but over time, it can become a business. Relaxation. Maybe you love meditating, going to the sauna, going hiking, being out in nature, hanging out with your friends, whatever is relaxing to you. Now write all of those things down. The importance for that also is that you're showing your brain by doing those things that you value yourself. In toxic relationships, a lot of times the partners are neglecting their value gardens because they're scared to lose the relationship, they're scared to lose their partners, so they're constantly trying to be around them and they're doing behaviors around the pattern emotions instead of supporting their value garden. So by chasing that validation in the partner and neglecting their value garden, they're also showing their brain with their behavior that they're not valuing themselves because they're not prioritizing a balance of the garden. Yes, the romantic relationship is part of it, but it's exactly that. It's only part of it. And then the romantic relationship is also based on the values, the support of the loving actions that you want to spend your time on. It's not based what most people do, pinging back and forth and changing their behavior around emotional addictions, around jealousy, around emotional addictive urges, around hot and cold games, around trying to make the other person jealous, around power games, by showing the other person the cold shoulder or not texting for days to make the other person jealous so the person can't control the power. That all comes from insecurity. Perfect. So now you have the value garden in front of you. Why that is also so important is because now you have your life outside of your head written down. It's all the things that you already spent your time on and the things you want to spend your time on. This is important to have things outside of your head because your brain can always trick you. Your brain wants you to stay in the old pattern because you showed the brain that the old patterns are important because you did so much behavior around the toxic relationship. You invested so much in the relationship that the brain, oh, this is so important. And when you then trying to act on your values, the brain's like, no, heartbreak, you're losing the person, all the uncomfortable emotions, anxiety for you to go back in the old patterns. This is why you have to learn the important step to be okay with uncomfortable emotions. Remember, your behavior is mostly around trying to fix feelings, trying to chase feelings that the brain gives you. That way you're feeding the pattern. The brain, it's like an algorithm. The more you engage with patterns, the more patterns the brain is going to give you. But the tricky part here is that toxic attraction feels right. And when I work with clients who I help to get out of toxic relationships, in the beginning I have to explain them that it's gonna feel right to try to go back to that person, that the brain tells you, no, what if they are soulmate? What if no one puts up with me anymore? What if I don't find anyone like him or like her? What if I don't find anyone else? Well, this is why it's so important to acknowledge that we don't wanna act on right feelings, because those right feelings are based on the wrong toxic software. But the wrong toxic software is gonna give you uncomfortable feelings or right feelings that you wanna chase for you to go back into the software, to feed the software. So the practice is to support yourself with the valued actions mindfully, to keep your mindfulness on the valued actions, because even when you're doing the actions, if you still spend time in your head about, oh, what are they doing? I need to make them fall in love with me. I need to do something about it. You're still feeding the patterns in your head. Now, we cannot control the thoughts that come in because the brain is already giving us those thoughts based on our past behavior with those thoughts. So the brain just does their job of bringing up the same software that you're used to react to. So this is the practice that's going to give you your breakthrough. It's about shifting your focus. Your focus is your superpower. You don't have to be perfect at this, but you want to take up more territory, which means from the beginning of the day, you want to bring your focus on the valued actions that support you. When you get up, you don't ruminate in your head. You don't try to fix emotions by scrolling. You're like, yes, I can have this uncomfortable emotion. The brain gives me wrong feelings. I'm not gonna interact with it because I don't want to recreate the old toxic patterns and feed it. I'm gonna make breakfast right now. And then the brain's like, what about your ex? What about that person? No, brain, we're making breakfast. And you're taking up that little bit of territory. Yeah, 5 seconds later, the brain's like, no, but what about this? You have to come in. No, brain, we're making the soup. No, brain, we're walking right now. No, brain, we're driving right now. No, brain, we're working out right now. All day, this is the challenge. This is the practice. It's gonna get easier over time, but you have to show your brain first that you don't care about the old pattern anymore. And you want to start in the beginning of the day because sleep is like a reset. And if you start your day with compulsions, rumination, trying to fix feelings, trying to stalk on them, the brain's like, oh, we love this. We want to do this all day. And it's a bigger snowball. But if you start your day with a meditation, then a thankfulness journal where you focus on the things you're proud about, you're thankful for, you focus on your workout, you focus on your work, you spending time outside of your head, you are creating a snowball that's going in the valued action direction, where your brain learns, oh, this is what's important to you. You need to show the brain what's important to you with your behavior inside of your head and outside of your head. So to practically change from being attracted to people who treat you badly to being attracted to people who treat you well, we need to show our brain what's important to us. And we're doing that by taking up more territory in the direction of doing things that support our lives. Doing things that bring value to us, like taking care of our physical well-being, taking care of our creative expression, taking care of our relaxation, taking care of our body, to show our brain that we value ourselves. This is a practice. You don't have to be perfect. You want to take up more territory over weeks and months. You want to set those valued actions in your week. And when it comes time to do the valued actions, here's the important part. You don't want to make it based on a feeling that you feel. So if you have a feeling of not feeling like going to the gym at 5 o'clock and you said you're going to go to the gym at 5:30, you're like, this is a great opportunity. I am going to practice now going to the gym with a wrong feeling, which is creating emotional fitness. It's creating self-trust, and it's showing yourself that you take yourself by the hand and take care of yourself like a little child. You taking yourself by the hand and taking yourself to build your body like I did, because I got 40 pounds of muscle on me over the last year. And that's how you show yourself that you're taking care of yourself and that you value yourself. You're also doing that inside of your head, which means you don't talk back to all those patterns inside of your head. You bring your focus outside. This is a practice. This is going to be challenging, like everything that's worthy. But the more you do it, the stronger you get, and the more emotional fitness you develop, the easier everything gets, because you're going to be a bigger space emotionally. And then the things that used to make you be reactive, like the hot and cold games or the anxiety, you're like, yeah, I can have this feeling and I'll go to the gym right now. This is literally how you change your brain, because you're showing your brain with your behavior and you're not being reactive to the old pattern. So you are making the old patterns inactive and you're making the new healthy patterns active, which means you will also be over time attracted to people who treat you well. Some people ask me, oh, I cannot be just attracted to people who I'm not attracted to. I'm just attracted to the bad boys. Yeah. But you will also be attracted to the people who treat you well, because you are changing your attraction. You will still be attracted. It's just now you're in an unnatural attraction based on the old patterns of not being worthy, of not valuing yourself, or of being reactive to the patterns in your head. Okay, this was number one. This is principle number one of doing the things that you value to show yourself that you value yourself. Principle number two is changing your behavior along the way in the beginning with other people who either treat you well or treat you badly. I heard Sadia Khan talk about this recently. She just didn't explain how to practice to change your brain like this, but this was exactly correct.
And they make their type an appearance. So they'll say, my type is blonde, blue eyes, or my type is brunette and curvy. But my advice is always make your type a treatment. How do you get treated by that person? If every time your type is blonde, blue eyes, but she's treating you badly, she should no longer be your type.
She said you have to train yourself to make someone your type who treats you well. But the first inclination for most people on the planet is, I'm attracted to who I am physically attracted to, who pulls me there. But that can be based on an unconscious pattern. I'm not saying choose people who you're not attracted to. I'm saying choose people who you're attracted to, but also who treat you well. So what she said is someone shouldn't be your type if they don't treat you well. So if you have a big booty Latina, but she's an arrogant bitch who plays games and is narcissist and is playing power games and is going hoeing around all the time, that shouldn't be your type. You might feel physically attracted to her, right? The old pattern is like, no, we need this person. And with principle number 1, you already starting to break those patterns where over time you're not going to be attracted to her if she's just an asshole. But number 2, also in the current situations, you want to show your brain that you value yourself first so that you don't take disrespect. And that is most of the time by removing yourself from those people. Now that's going to, again, feel wrong. That doesn't mean that it is wrong. It means that the old pattern's pulling you back to being treated badly because that's what you learned in the past. So you have to be okay with the uncomfortable pattern, and I'm not saying it's easy, but that's the practice, and move in the direction of supporting yourself and building your business. Look, now that I built my business and I'm popular on the internet, I have way more options of the dating pool. It's clear, right? Because it's status. So focus on yourself. Support yourself with the actions. But that doesn't mean to be selfish. You're still going to treat people well, but you're not going to make people your type who treat you badly. So you want to make it easy for you, practical. Leave them, block them, walk away from them. And a lot of times these toxic people, when you leave them, they're like, oh, he's leaving, because they have the same self-worth issues. Oh, now he's better than me because he's ignoring me. Oh, let me follow him. Now I want you. Now I want you. Now I want you. And then you think, oh, now she's coming. Maybe I still should. And once you're like, oh, now I like you too. She's like, hey, I don't like it anymore. I don't like it anymore. Go away. Go away. I only like people who show me they're better than me, because if they're better than me, then I can chase validation. And I don't have the self-worth, so I need to chase the validation. That's exactly what it is. So don't let yourself be pulled in. It's then a game again. Yeah, you can play the game. It's exhausting and you never show yourself that you value yourself. And there's amazing people out there. There's amazing people out there who are confident and who, if you show yourself with your behavior that you're confident by doing the things that you value and change your brain, you're gonna have amazing relationships instead of having these games. It's a waste of your life. You're wasting everything with these jealousy games, and all the time you could spend building your business, building a supportive relationship with that person. You're literally neglecting with toxic relationships your family members. You're being not nice to be around because you're constantly venting, which is also a compulsion. Venting, a feeling comes up and you need to get rid of the feeling, and you talk. You're also giving the brain another trigger to give you more things to vent. So number 2 is show yourself that you are walking away from the people that don't treat you well, even though the feeling wants to suck you in and wants you to go back. That feeling is the old addictive pattern, and those are only emotional addictive relationships. It's not real love. It's two people who don't care about each other. They only care about the feelings that they can suck out of each other. And that's the emotional addiction. That's not a relationship. A relationship is two people who care about each other's well-being. The second part of this equation is, how are you going to treat people who treat you well? And what do you want to do, and what many people in the society don't do because they have their protective mechanism up, they don't want to go a step further, they don't want to invest. You have to start investing. You have to start giving. You give to yourself and you give to others. You give to others who treat you well. You give to others who are good-hearted people. You start giving, you start investing as both of the people, man and woman, love and this is what Alan Watts talks about, is also surrender. You have to practice to be vulnerable. Love is only created when we give up control. Now that doesn't mean that you are going to lose yourself, because you still trust yourself that you are going to be okay. But you have to start investing in the relationship. If that's with your behavior, with actions of love, you need to open up, you need to be vulnerable. And by you then doing that behavior of when people treat you well, to invest in them, spend time with them, and then when you meet someone you're attracted to and who treats you well, you want to invest with your behavior, because that's also showing your brain that you care about that, and that also raises the attraction, that raises the connection. But most of the time people don't connect anymore because they're so scared. They're just like tippy-toeing and they're never opening up. And some of you guys are gonna be like, oh no, when I'm vulnerable, when I'm just opening up, when I'm letting go of control, I might get hurt. Yes, we are humans, but guess what? You're going to be okay. You're gonna move on because you created this value garden that's supporting you, and it's gonna give you a strong pillar. It's gonna create that stability for yourself where you know what? I can have uncomfortable emotions of heartbreak, I can get hurt, but I'm focusing back on my valued actions, on my value garden. This is even creating more emotional fitness and more trust in yourself, because you show yourself, yes, I can get hurt, but guess what? I can move forward. I'm a G. So here are some tips for you to recognize people who will treat you well and people who are not treating you well. People who will treat you well will be on the valued action engine. Makes sense, right? People who treat you well will treat you well no matter their emotions. They will not treat you badly because they feel boredom, they feel uneasiness, they feel anxiety, they feel anger. They will still do valued actions. They will still do actions of love to support you no matter how they feel, because they have emotional fitness and they live their life based on values and not their life based on fixing their emotions constantly, fixing feelings, etc. And you see it in the actions. Are they on time? Are they congruent? Are they respectful? How are they acting with staff? How are they acting with other people? If they're fucking other people over in their business, yes, it's more likely they're also fucking you over in the relationship, because they don't live based on values. Are they being constantly reactive to their emotions? Are they supporting their value garden with valued actions? Do they have a supportive life that they're watering? Are they watering their garden no matter how they feel? Or are they saying, oh, today I stay in bed for the whole day, or I have the feeling of going out every weekend to get emotional entertainment? Or are they talking bad about their friends behind their back to get an emotional high of gossip? Or do they have values? Do they follow valued actions? Are they having something to live for? Are they having something outside of the relationship? Are they having passions? Because if not, it's easy for people to lose themselves in the relationships because they're chasing the happiness in the relationship. Okay, so just as a recap, principle number 1, you support your life. You show yourself that you're valuable by doing the things that you value. Principle number 2, you show yourself that you're not going to be disrespected by others. You ignoring them, walk away from them, and go back to supporting your garden. Principle number 3, you are supporting people who treat you well. You're opening up, you're being vulnerable, you're doing actions of love, and you're trusting yourself that even if you get hurt, you still have that stability, your own garden to support yourself. That trust in yourself. Big tips. Just because a feeling feels right doesn't mean it's right. Just because a feeling feels wrong, a feeling of not feeling like doing something, doesn't mean it's wrong. Tip for looking at other people: are they living their life based on an emotional addictive engine? Are they living their life based on values? If you want to go deeper in building that valued action engine, check out my book, How to Build Emotional Fitness. It has beautiful animations. It explains practically how to change your brain with tools like mindfulness, meditation. The value garden is in there, and there's fun animations so you can visually learn those things better. You will get the Emotional Fitness book included if you join STAR's Personal Coaching Academy today. Plus, you will receive an onboarding call with me where we explore your challenges and your goals so I can even give you better support. People ask me so many times, how did you get on your coaching journey? And I said, I never set out to be a coach, but I always been a coach to myself. When I was younger, I was abandoned at different points, so I realized no one is coming. So I had to be my own best friend. I had to learn how to be my own coach. I had to find the tools myself to help me and to support me. And now I want to support you with those tools. If you finally want to break the unhealthy relationships, get rid of the emotional addictions, and create healthy relationships, join STAR's Coaching Academy in the link in the description. With that being said, I love you guys. I'm gonna go eat now. That's also a valued action. So I want to support my body, and then I go to the gym. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day.